Hello, say hi. So, welcome to Fake Virtual Pop Up. We are very excited today. We have amazing guests, amazing brands, 100% vegan, 100% ethically made as usual. Yeah, I hope you guys are excited as well. We're going to talk about many things. We're going to receive Joyce Pringle, the founder of Veshin Factory. It's a factory 100% ethical in China. Is going to talk to us about everything around that, and then we're gonna introduce two beautiful brands from Paris. So we're gonna travel all around the world. I'm in LA right now. We're gonna go to Paris. We're gonna go in the north of France, and we're gonna go to London. I hope you guys are ready for that. And really quick before we start, text us on WhatsApp. If you have WhatsApp, you just add this number, you send a message, you just say hi, you say I want to be a faker, you say whatever you want, and we will send you many gift cards that you can spend with all the fakers, the designer, so 100% vegan and ethical. And yeah, I hope you guys are ready. We're gonna start right away with Astrid. She's the founder of Upswing. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So,
Well, I'm very happy to be here. Very, very happy.
me too. I'm very happy to have you. We start. We try so many times, and we had some connection problem, and finally we did it. You're here with us.
That's right. Well,
So, hmm?
well, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So I'm gonna navigate on your website, and I let you introduce your beautiful shoe brand.
Thank you.
So, yes. So this is the shoes.
Yes, right. So this is Upswing. Well, it's a whole new brand. I launched it last summer, and it's all vegan and ecological shoes for kids. Actually, I chose to make vegan shoes for kids because I could not find anything that was really sustainable and really totally vegan and certified for kids.
Yeah.
So I thought at first, like some years ago, I thought like this is weird that there is nothing for kids. There are so many shoes, so many good shoes for women. There are some for men, but I couldn't find anything vegan for children. So I thought maybe this is a good idea, and so that's how I began to think about it and to work on it. I chose the name Upswing because upswing is a synonym for improvement, and in my view, well, we all want to change the world. We all want to make it a better place, but we cannot change the world just like this in the blink of an eye. So we can all make little steps to improve the world. So that's why I chose to name it Upswing. And Upswing, I think there is a nice swing in the name.
Yeah, and we should do those step toward a better world with those beautiful shoes.
Well, and it's totally vegan. All the brand is vegan, as I am vegan myself. And it's certified by PETA, and it's ecological because the shoes are made either from recycled materials, like the shoe you are watching right now. The sneaker is from recycled polyurethane. It's a material that reuses the plastic bottles that we sort in the waste. And the other shoes, they are made from Pinatex. It's pineapple leather. And so
Yeah.
this is a very good material because, it's sustainable. It comes from the leaves of the pineapple, so it's the part that we cannot eat. And I think it has a good touch. You see that it doesn't look exactly like plain leather, but I like the touch it has. And so the shoes I make are from size 4.5 children to size 3.5 adults. And
Oh,
right now I have those three models for the fall and winter. And well, the sneaker is available from now. And for the Pinatex, because we had some problems with the delivery with the Pinatex, it was a little bit delayed. So as far as it is delayed, you have a 10% off. Well, this shoe, it will be available about the 20th of October. And the other one, I'm still waiting for the precise date, but it will be available around the end of October. But until there, you have 10% off if you pre-order those shoes.
and that's your Instagram,
Yes,
Upswing
right.
Shoes. Everybody go check it out. Go follow. like, leave a comment. Yeah.
And also, before I forget, I wanted to make a special promotion code for the fakers and for people who are watching the F.A.K.E live. So you have a special discount price with the code F.A.K.E 2020. You have free worldwide shipping.
So wait, let me write it down. F.A.K.E 2020.
F.A.K.E 2020.
Okay.
All attached.
And you get how much you say?
You get free worldwide delivery.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
And yeah, so thank you for everything. Your Instagram is beautiful. This is an event you were there. It was like a week, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, we did like a fake. We were part of the Smile Festival, and you were there. And thank you for that. That was.
You're welcome.
So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Go follow Upswing.
We were part of the Smile Festival.
Oh wait,
and,
I can
you
hear
were
myself.
I can hear you.
Up. Sorry. Okay. Now we're okay. We don't hear echo, right?
No, it's okay.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, thank you so much, and yeah, have a good day.
Thank you.
Right. So yeah, now we're gonna stay in France. We're gonna go more in the north. We were in Paris, and we're gonna have Cécile. Hello, Cécile.
Hi.
How are you?
Everyone. I'm fine, thanks. So I am Cécile, the French founder of Sensa. Before I created Sensa, I was a gendarme. La gendarmerie in France is a French military police.
Wow.
And I was a chief in gendarmerie for 15 years. And I was quite not upset, but almost with seeing always the dark side of the life. So as I was sewing for a few years and I've always loved bags, I decided to make vegan bags. So Sensa is an all new brand, just like Upswing. We launched this summer, and I make vegan and conscious bags. They are all made by myself with Pinatex, so a kind of leather made from pineapples, and with Deserto. It's a kind of leather made with cactus. This is how you say in English.
Yeah.
I hope my English is quite good enough, so your ears won't bleed. And at Sensa, I want to make a new kind of conscious fashion, because I found that the conscious fashion is always very classic, and I like to be a kind of little rebellious. And I wanted to take this way to give some messages to people. I am very. It's very important for me, feminisms, specisms, and environmental protection. So I decided to take all those issues close to my heart and to give messages to people with my bags.
You know, your English is perfect.
And you're very nice. I am not sure.
Never,
You're very nice.
I think your English is amazing.
Thank you. And so I decided to allow people who are sensitive to oppressions of all kinds to express it through their outfits, and thus to send a message. This is how Sensa was born. And it seems also to me very important to change our consumption model in order to live well while respecting others, other people, other animals. I don't really know how to say it in English, or the environment. So everything that is alive. It requires some efforts, but I think we can do those efforts to save the earth. And I want to make many efforts for my consumer so they won't have to do those efforts. This is why I've decided to create this brand and to make rebellious bags and with all for example, this one is made with upcycled fabric. This is, I don't know how to say in English, the pants and the shirts, the military wear.
Oh, yes.
They should have go to the garbage, but I took them, cut them, and now this is backpack.
So that was from real military.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love this one. I love all the details.
Yes.
It's my favorite.
It's one of the most liked bag I have. This one. And I would just want to say something more for the F.A.K.E.ers. I am very proud to be part of the F.A.K.E.ers, and for all the F.A.K.E.ers, I just wanted to make a 5% discount on all my bags with the code F.A.K.E 5, and you can contact me on my Facebook page or on my Instagram account, because my website is not online yet. Although you've seen part of my website, it's not online yet.
Okay.
Thank
you so much. So if we want a bag, we can send you a message directly and you will answer to it.
On Facebook.
That's what I love as well with the F.A.K.E designer. Is that we can easily ask you questions, where it's made, how it's made, and we know you will answer. And thank you for that. Thank you for all the F.A.K.E designers. So yeah, thank you so much again, and have an amazing, beautiful day in France.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so now we're gonna have our guest of the day, Joyce Pringle. He's an amazing human being who wants to promote ethical fashion by creating this factory in China that is 100% ethical. The best way for me to show it to you is to show. Oh, just for the bag before, I just want to show we had this very beautiful bags, and your English is perfect. You see, it's amazing. Your English is amazing. So yes, so I'm gonna put this little introduction video so you can see how beautiful this concept is, and then we will receive Joey to ask him all the questions you guys have.
A garment factory has collapsed in Bangladesh, once again calling into question the safety standards at the factories.
The owner of the Rana Plaza factory complex in Bangladesh has been charged with murder.
A Chinese company that has made shoes for the Ivanka Trump brand denies allegations of excessive overtime and low wages. A factory fire in India killed at least 43 people Sunday.
Look, this is going to keep happening as long as we let it. So we need to show clothing brands not just that we care, but why they should.
Whilst the fashion industry has strived to become more sustainable over the course of the last 10 years, manufacturers have struggled to keep pace with the speed of change required. Our answer to this is Veshin Factory. I'm Joe Pringle, founder of Veshin, OEM and ODM manufacturer that specialises in luxury vegan leather and premium recycled synthetics, bags and accessories. Our goal at Veshin is to become one of the greenest factories on the planet by living and breathing 5 core values. We want to reduce the quantity of global output by making high quality, innovative and long-lasting products. Our focus is on the circular economy and working with material suppliers that take these and turn them into this. Certifications and audits are a crucial part of the social compliance process, but we plan on going above and beyond by providing transparency on everything, and I mean everything. Veganism is at the forefront of our values, so we promote plant-based living wherever possible. To take the pressure off these guys, we plan on working with materials such as cactus, apple, pineapple and mushroom. Our desire for doing things differently stretches above and beyond our green manufacturing goals. From beach cleanups to tree planting initiatives, we plan on investing our time and our revenues into supporting global and local outreach projects outside of our day-to-day factory operations. For long-lasting positive change to take hold, we believe there needs to be a shift in global consciousness. Through transcendental meditation, we hope to help raise awareness and encourage people to have a more balanced relationship with nature. For Veshin, collaboration is key. For the fashion industry, the change for the better, meaningful collaboration and shared culture is fundamental. We want to work with brands that share our core values, our philosophy on accountability, and our desire for a greener future. So if this is you, get in touch, and we look forward to going on this journey together.
Yes,
How's it going?
that's beautiful.
Thanks for showing that.
No, thank you, and welcome to the F.A.K.E Virtual Pop-Up.
Yeah,
I'm very happy to have you here. And yes, so as we can see, it's amazing because you offer a real solution, and not only offering amazing products that are ethical, but as well transparency, and hopefully that's what I believe, you will inspire other factory next to you in China.
It's a big plan. It's a big plan.
So yeah, I have many questions in mind. I prepared a few questions, but the first I want to ask you is why you decided to start a factory and why in China?
Okay. So just to give you a bit more background on my life, originally from here in the UK, I lived in Australia for a couple of years, worked as a designer there. And then I spent the last 8 years living in Vancouver, in Canada. The last 3 years, I worked for an incredible brand. Shout out to Tentree. If anyone knows Tentree, I worked for them as the accessories lead. And it was at my time at Tentree where I traveled to Vietnam and China, and I was responsible for about 12 factories. And it was on one of my visits in 2018 where I met with one of our suppliers. And at the time, this supplier specialized in luxury leather goods. And at the time, Tentree is a very sustainable company, and we try to make sure our manufacturing partners were like-minded, like the business. So we were finding it tough working with just like the fit of a sustainable company, working with a leather goods supplier, just knowing the impacts of that industry and whatnot. So I went on this trip to Guangzhou to meet this factory owner and to just explain to him, hey, there's a chance that we might have to move the business away. There's a couple of other things at the time that were making it difficult for us to do business with this factory. And we had this conversation, and he basically went on to explain how he's a converted Buddhist, and he wants to basically change his business model to be more like-minded with what his focus was. And for me at the time, I found it very frustrating with my business trips to China, how challenging it was really pushing factories to kind of become more sustainable and kind of understand the environment and understand where the industry had to go. So after speaking to this guy and him telling me this incredible vision about how he wants to start this greener factory, it was so refreshing to hear what this guy had to say. And it's so rare as well, especially in China, to hear someone speak like this. So I said to him at the time, I was like, it's an incredible vision. Can I be a consultant for you and support you on this dream? So we left it at that for a year. And then at the same time, I went back to Canada. I was at Tentree for another year. And then it came to a crossroads in my life where I kind of had to make a decision if I stayed in Canada and kind of took a promotion at Tentree, or I really wanted to have my own thing and kind of do my bit for the world from an individual standpoint. And the factory idea was something really just a big thing I'd get stuck into. So I flew to China again. And I met with this guy, and I proposed to him what a full-time consultant would look like. And he saw my plan and my vision for the factory, and he just turned around and said, hey, I don't want you to be a consultant. I want you to be the owner. And I mean, at the time, it kind of made no sense being offered ownership in China, because I never envisioned my life living in China, like permanently. And I don't speak Chinese, and he doesn't speak English. So I'm going into business with someone where we don't speak the same language, and we have translators and whatnot. But we spoke about everything, and our values and our intuition and everything just aligned. And it was very much kind of the universe opening an incredible door for me to do what I wanted to do in the industry. And I just took it upon myself to kind of come back to Canada, made the decision to quit my job, and then I became a citizen 2 months later in Canada. And here we are. So I quit my job in January, and then I decided to go full time with the factory. The plan was to move to China in October to start Veshin and launch it in China. But then the lockdown hit, and everyone kind of understands the industry was on its knees prior to lockdown, and things had to change dramatically in the fashion world. And lockdown gave an incredible platform and spotlight to kind of create the business and to kind of show the world it, and just to get the message out there. And I launched everything in May, and here we are now. And it's kind of snowballed in the last few months, and it's taken off, and the reception's been incredible. And the next step is to get out to China, but I'm kind of locked up in the UK now, so I'm just using this time to speak to like-minded people and basically just connect with amazing brands. So it's amazing to be here, and appreciate you giving me the platform to speak about it.
Of course, because we connected through LinkedIn, and we start talking because unfortunately there's this image, when you say it's made in China, people always see as something negative. And so can you maybe share all the different value your factory have, and how you think you will be able to prove all your value to the customer? Like, what is your plan?
So my values as an individual and being a sustainable designer, I wanted to make sure they're embedded into the factory model. So we have 5 values: sustainability, so basically how the building operates, how the product is made, how we source other brands, how we can support that, doing it in the most sustainably progressive way. Radical transparency is one thing that on my visits to China, I was always a bit disappointed how the factories weren't. I've seen many good factories in my career, and they weren't proud about kind of showcasing what they've been doing. And this is the thing with China, it has this made in China stigma, but there's so much positivity happening in that country. And I really want to be able to be transparent and just show the world that made in China isn't a bad thing. And then our next value is just plant-based living. I'm vegan myself, and I mean, I've been vegan 2 years now, and it's an absolute, it's changed my life, kind of becoming vegan, and my mindset, and it affects not just product, but the way you eat and your lifestyle. So we wanted to make sure that we implemented the vegan factor into the business. As I said, my business partner's Buddhist, so he has a vegan diet as well. And then our next goal is, our next value is giving back. I understand from a factory perspective, like it's out of my control to do everything perfectly. So above and beyond just making a product, we want to be able to give back to, if it's tree planting or cleaning beaches or wherever we can, and kind of offsetting our carbon and being mindful of those impacts that are kind of out of my control. So that's a huge part of the business. Whenever we get the funds and the revenue to put back, we will. And then lastly, meditation and wellness. I'm pretty new to learning transcendental meditation, and I've kind of realized over the last 6 months that through meditation, even though it's one of our 5 values, it is probably the most important value for the industry to change and the world to change. Everything starts with just raising consciousness. And when we're more conscious as an individual, we find that inner peace and that happiness. And then from there, being happier with our day-to-day life, we make better decisions. So then we become more sustainable. We start kind of asking more questions about transparency, and kind of we become vegan. We understand about like our decision and our consciousness and the way we eat. So we start kind of implementing that, and then we just become better human beings, and we have bigger hearts. And it's a fundamental value for us. Just raising consciousness in the industry. And then you're made in China. People always say, "Oh, why do you choose China to do it with the stigma?" China it just so happened to be for me. If it happened on the moon, I would go to the moon to do it. Like, it could be anywhere. It could have been in like Africa. It could have been in Australia. It could have been in Vietnam, Thailand. It just so happened to be China. As I said, I wanted to be in a position in my life to make the biggest impact possible, and the universe opened a door for me and a platform to do it in China. China obviously has a lot of problems. But at the same time, as I said earlier, there's so much positivity in that country that we don't really see from the Western world, and the media portrays China in such a way, and it doesn't make things easier with like Trump and China and the war and the kind of the trade war going on. But I just want to be able to prove that just through these values, and these aren't just values of me, these are the values of my business partner and the business in China already, that it can be presented in a way where it is good, and it is quite simple just to kind of present that. So I'm looking forward to kind of eradicating that stigma behind made in China. I understand from a carbon perspective and shipping and whatnot, it is challenging. Someone wants to get something made more locally within Europe for a European brand. I'm not going to fight that. I understand that. But end of the day, it's made on planet Earth. We have this thing right now where we have such divide of countries and kind of the Black Lives Matter movement. At the end of the day, we're all just human beings, and we live on one planet, and we need to be proud about this planet and work together to create that massive change. And we can't create that change if we're going to be divided. And I always want to prove, especially within fashion, that made in China means just made on planet Earth, simply as that.
Yeah, and China is actually investing a lot in recycling and
sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
things.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they are the biggest recycled. They are the one who recycled the most the plastic bottle to create rPET, which is a material, a fabric that you can use for bags. And
sure, traditionally China's taken a lot of kind of recycled goods from other countries, so they've always had a kind of a stock of it, and they've been incredible innovators. They're incredibly talented when it comes to like making things happen quickly. What needs to happen in China is more so from an individual standpoint, and again, that's through consciousness and the way you think. But when they clock onto something quickly, like I do think China will probably become one of the greenest countries in the planet within the next 5 to 10 years. And Guangzhou is an amazingly progressive city. I did a lot of work in Shanghai before that, and Shanghai, the pollution is bad when you see it, but they understand that now, and they understand the mistakes they've made, and it's quickly becoming. They can do things so quickly now they think about it. Whereas in comparison to like Western countries, we're very slow at making these changes. Like governments are always fighting each other, and the minute the Chinese government thinks about something green and positive, like it happens quickly. So it's exciting to see that happening, and it's exciting to have a business on a country that is really pushing to become very green now. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's many brands that will buy the fabric in China. I'm thinking about hemp, plastic bottle recycled, but they will produce in their country. And while it's sometimes maybe better actually to produce directly in China, but how can you make sure that the factory, like, because many people cannot travel to China to check the factories, how can you make sure that the factory you choose is ethical?
So from a brand perspective, it's just about asking those questions, making sure that there is that level of social compliance that's being put in place, looking for the certifications. For us, we have a roadmap right now for the next 2 years where we're going through the SEDEX route for our auditing and certifications. We actually, the catch-22 for us is that we're starting this business out of a leather goods factory. So there's a huge catch-22 there. So for us, we're looking at ways of creating that vegan certification within this factory model. Eventually, our goal is to become solo and just build from a state-of-the-art factory from scratch. But it's all about asking questions. And if you can't take that flight, I want to be working with business owners who can trust me and I can trust them, and they can hold me accountable. And in return, I can hold them accountable. So just getting on a call, and this is where the transparency for me is so important, is that I can give people the peace of mind knowing that like there's this random English guy that moved to China to start a factory, and he's one call away from being like, hey, do you want to see something? I can just get my phone out and show someone it. There's nothing to hide. And so there's a part of it where it's just about the intuition of being the business owner, and then obviously there's a huge education around social compliance and getting the right certifications on board and kind of understanding which ones are the ones to look out for and these types of things.
So how do you choose your brand? Like, how do you choose you see a brand and you're like, okay, this brand, I need to contact them. They will be perfect for our factory. Like, how do you decide that?
I mean, it's tricky. Obviously, I have a business to run. Running a business in China, I've got to make a certain amount of money. So, if I can find a brand that ticks all those boxes of the values that I've put in place, amazing. So far, so good. I've taken on about 6 or 7 new brands this year that these business owners really are kind of the blueprint of those values. But I guess the first thing is anyone that's working with vegan levers is fundamental. Like we won't work with anyone that's not doing anything with with leather. Like it's just a no-go. As I said, we have a factory right now that is still operating with leather, but moving forward, the plan is to eliminate that. And so any new brand I approach right now is in the vegan leather industry, or I'll be approaching leather goods companies and explaining them, hey, do you want to make that shift? Because everyone has the chance to do it. Ultimately, I'd love to see the vegan companies already existing to become, you know what I mean, the bigger brands on the planet. But there's also a lot of brands existing on the planet right now, and they just need to shift their consciousness and the way they think and become greener. So right now it's focusing on the vegan brands, getting them, because they're super like-minded, and then eventually over time it's kind of approaching some of the other luxury leather goods companies out there and saying, hey, are you ready to make the shift? We can make it for you and support you with that.
Yeah, and I forget what I wanted to say. That I always say that vegan fashion isn't always the most sustainable way to do. But it's, like, sustainable fashion should always be vegan, because if it's not sustainable for the life of the animals,
correct,
for the environment, because it's always worse. So, and so, what will be your favorite material that you work with?
Yeah, I mean, just to that point, I mean, the entire thing is a catch-22. I mean, no one's perfect right now, and it's near impossible to be perfect. All you can do is just have the right values in place and the right mindset in place and keep pushing yourself to become perfect. And as long as you think that way, they're the kind of, you know what I mean, that's the approach to take, being honest. From a material standpoint, as we talked about, like, being vegan isn't so much sustainable. Being vegan myself, I'm actually a bit disappointed with the amount of kind of marketing bullshit, excuse my language, but there's just too much kind of, the greenwashing from a marketing perspective it's just too over the top, like vegan bag and vegan this and vegan that. It's like, this hat's vegan, like this bottle's like, you could say anything's vegan, like, and it's like, so for me starting this company, like obviously PU and microfiber are probably the biggest vegan alternatives out there right now to stepping away from leather. So knowing that we already had that in our wheelhouse, I wanted to kind of go above and beyond and anticipate where the industry was going. So Deserto, the cactus leather, it's something that I love the storytelling behind it. I love the owners of the company. Like we've got a good relationship now. And from our perspective, because we specialize in premium luxury leather goods, Cactus has been the first kind of solution to transitioning away from a premium leather product. It's kind of ticking all the boxes. So Cactus has been our focus, setting that relationship up to make sure that we can support brands with introducing them to the guys in Mexico to make their collections happen. What else is out there? Pinatex is obviously incredible, compelling storytelling. For us, we've done a little bit with it, but a lot of our clients today, when it comes to transitioning away from leather, Pinatex isn't the kind of solution because it has a more papery cardboard feel. Incredible material, but for us, until Pinatex becomes a bit more same characteristics as leather, we'll start using it more. Apple leather is another one that's been on my radar. There's some incredible apple leather suppliers that are going to come up in the next year. There's a few right now happening, but the composition of apple is too low in my eyes. It's like between 9% and 27%. But again, the marketing is so heavily like apple leather, and we don't kind of hear about the amount of PU used in it. So it's not the answer right now, but it's on the path to becoming something quite incredible. Bulk threads and the Milo mushroom leather, that's something that I'm super excited for. I believe they've taken a lot of time to get it right, to produce this really circular material that can potentially biodegrade or compost. And they've been on my radar, and I really want to kind of build a relationship with them moving forward. And then there's a grape leather called Vega. So again, very high end, very luxurious. It's very good for us transitioning our current clientele and future kind of super vegan luxury brands into that material. So many exciting things out there. And then, we do a lot of hemp. We have an amazing hemp supplier in China, very transparent, have a very inspiring factory model with like solar panels all over the place, and it's super cool. So they're our focus right now. And then hopefully in the future, we start seeing more biodegradable vegan leathers, kind of eliminating that plastic story. And it's on the path to being correct. So people have to understand that even though it's not the solution just now, as long as you're transparent about saying, hey, there's PU in my product still, and we know PU isn't great, it's on the path to being the answer. So it's an exciting space to be in.
I'm sharing at the same time your website.
Oh yeah, nice. I can see it.
Yeah, well, I was sharing like all the different material you work with,
Nice.
and I'm going a little bit everywhere so people can see.
Cool. Yeah, so that's some of our cactus. We've done a few in-house samples, and then this is just showcasing our craftsmanship.
Nice.
So these bags are actually from our, it's made of leather, but it's more so to just showcase to our clientele the kind of product we can make with vegan leathers. Because we're so new, people have been asking for my portfolio, and we've only been going for a few months. So I kind of had to put on some stuff here that just showcased the craftsmanship and the quality, because it's part of our business model is that we specialize in kind of long-lasting, durable goods, rather than, we prefer to make less, like 100 to 300 bags, 500 wallets, make less than make like 10,000 wallets. Like, we don't want to be doing mass production, especially for me sleeping at night. There's no point pumping out rubbish. Like, we want to make really good quality vegan product.
So if someone have an idea of a design, they can just go here, contact you, and ask for like a quote. Like, how does it work? Let's say I'm a designer, I have an idea, a new concept, a new bags that I have in mind, and I would like to
Yeah, so if you click on the contact us button, it should take you to a form. If you just get at the bottom. So there's loads of routes about going about it. You can like hit me up on LinkedIn and we can start chatting, or through our Instagram, or you can go on the website here. And the website is a nice way of screening someone. So it has like the MOQ boxes you can tick. Some brands will provide their own material sources and say, hey, we want to order this. We already have our relationship with Deserto. Some people are looking for us to advise them on and give them support. And then for us to do a quote, we need to see like a technical package. It just makes our life easier to see the drawings and the plan, and then we can give them a quote. And then if they're happy with the quote, we'll move into the sampling process. And then we always go from sampling straight into production. We tend not to do kind of sampling exercises. We prefer to, if someone's ready to kind of go into sampling, they're ready to go into production with us.
Perfect. Yes, so I have a question that I love to ask.
Okay.
So I'm a brand, I'm doing leather goods, and I'm contacting you because I want to produce in your factory. You have 2 minutes to convince me to go from my regular leather to an ethical fashion brand. What would you say?
You want to say all that stuff?
Huh?
I mean, pretty much just been selling you on it all. What would I say right now in 2 minutes to get you to change to our factory? I guess I would just say, if you're looking for a really honest, transparent factory that can provide you with kind of all the answers to what you're looking for from a transparency perspective, if you're a conscious individual and you want to work with a like-minded person, we'd love for you to kind of join our mission and go on this journey with us. we are all designers, like my team. So I'm a designer. My business partner obviously specializes in production and development. And then our executive director, she went to the school Marangoni in Milan, design school. So we have this incredible talent on board from a design perspective to support anyone. And then again, transitioning away from leather, we have all the values in place and the knowledge to make sure that we can bring your vegan dream product to life.
Yeah, thank you. You convinced me.
Okay.
So yeah, and how do you see Veshin in 5 years?
Yeah, so the plan, as I said, the catch-22 is that we're starting this business out of a leather goods factory. There's two ways about doing this business. There's one where we could close down the leather goods factory right now and then invest $10 million into going into starting a complete new factory. Personally, I don't want to go 10 million in debt right now. I'd rather transition slowly. People understand, a lot of the owners of the companies I'm working with understand that these things don't happen overnight. It takes time. I always say Rome wasn't built in a day. So I have a 2-year plan right now in 2 years to get the certifications of the factory up to speed, get our transparency up to speed. And this will be easier once I move to China. And then in 2 years, I want to see our revenue from a revenue perspective. Like right now, we're probably like 95% leather goods, 5% Veshin. So I want to see that revenue kind of come 50-50. So we have a really great clientele base. And then once I've proven that people want to work with me and they want to kind of go into business and we start having this incredible database of clients, then we can be like, hey, this is working. And then we can anticipate after 2 years, hey, we're in a position right now where we can kind of close down our current operation and then basically reinvest and build a new factory from scratch. So our 5-year plan is right now we're in a rental. Being in a rental when it comes to the bigger sustainability initiatives like putting solar panels on your roof and controlling the electricity and your carbon and these types of things, being in a rental, it's hard to kind of implement these types of procedures. So when you build your own factory, you can build it any way you want. And I want to do it in a very kind of sustainable architecture, kind of really cool way of approaching a building. So the 5-year plan is to get to a position where we have Veshin on its own and it's fully vegan, no leather, and then it's basically its own operation and we control every aspect of the building. And then longer term, the plan is knowing that it is hard from a carbon perspective, getting something made, designing something in France and then getting it made in China. I understand from just the carbon emissions perspective that it is challenging and people want to have more things made more locally. Over time, I'd like to take the Veshin operation to different continents. I'll probably look at doing something in Africa first. There's such a great foundation in Africa right now. There's a lot of positive energy happening there to start a new business. And they kind of deserve a factory model. Everyone says, oh, why wouldn't you do this in England? And personally, I think England's had its chance with manufacturing and it's kind of failed. And there's a lot of bad things happening right now with UK manufacturing. And I don't really aspire to do the content in the UK right now. I'd like to do it in a place that deserves a challenge and a chance and a kind of a fresh slate. So longer term, taking it to different continents. And then lastly, we want to be able to give back and maybe have like an education program, like a school. So this is a longer term dream, but we want to like start up like a Veshin school. I'm wearing a San Diego hat today. I love that city. I want to live in California eventually. So we had this idea of kind of starting up like a Veshin manufacturing school in California. But
that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's something that we can teach kids, students, manufacturing. Right now, being a designer and the education I had, fabulous education. But when you become a designer, to become a better designer, you really have to understand how things are made. And what happens in the industry is that it takes maybe 3 or 4 years to get to a point as a designer to go overseas to Asia and Vietnam. Depends on the company you work for, but usually you got to be in a company it's 3 or 4 years before you get those breaks to visit factories. For me, I was very fortunate in my career to get to factories quickly And the minute you see these factories happening and you understand production, then you can become a way better designer. So it'd be nice to have a school where you can teach how production lines work. And then it'll just improve designers. It'll give them the understanding about transparency and kind of understanding what people do in their day-to-day in a factory to kind of appreciate what goes into making a product. So it's a long-term dream, but it'd be pretty cool if we pulled that one off.
That would be amazing. Actually, I talked to many students in fashion, and they all told me the same, that they didn't learn nothing about ethical fashion during their study for 3, even 5 years sometime.
Yeah,
and, they learn all this online or on their own. That would be amazing.
Ultimately, they're the ones who are going to change the planet, and we need to make sure they're the most important generation coming through, and we need to support them to give them the education to be the change makers. All we're doing right now is kind of trying to restore sustainability and balance. And I mean, we're going through such a huge conscious shift on the planet right now, where we're fighting so much things, and there's so many arguments, and there's so much bad energy. But moving forward long term, we need to get to a point where that energy just becomes nothing but positivity, and the people that are going to be carrying the baton are the generation below us, and after that. So yeah, we need to support them from an education standpoint.
Thank you so much. Maybe I have one last question.
Sure.
Going back to what you said earlier about the fact that you guys are doing meditation.
Yeah.
So, because in 2 weeks, we're going to receive Sika Schmitz. She's the founder of Impact Fashion. And she talked a lot about healing through fashion.
Nice.
Do you believe that meditation will actually help improving the spirituality in the fashion? Because it's a topic that come very often, the spirituality through fashion, depending on the color we choose, on the energy that is putting inside. So do you feel that?
From a psychological standpoint, I'm not sure. I don't know. The thing with meditation is that everything's just non-tangible. It's about understanding energy and understanding just like matter. And the thing with transcendental meditation is that people feel like, oh, what happens when you do that? Like nothing happens. It's all happening subconsciously. So it's all subconsciously. So I'm not sure. I mean, obviously what happens is that you become more conscious. I guess you'll gravitate to more positive colors, if that's such a thing. I'm interested to learn more about that. But from a healing the industry, it's going to heal any industry. Just meditating daily just creates that shift from an individual standpoint, where, I mean, you can listen to governments if you want to, but end of the day, they're not going to change anyone's opinion. It's all about speaking for yourself and being your own person and understanding what's right and what's wrong. And through meditation, it just makes your consciousness higher. And then, ultimately that will start healing bad industries, and fashion is one of them, and it needs to be healed quickly. So hopefully through meditation, there will be a huge shift. And then that will just, it basically being that person, that energy leaks onto other people. I mean, you create that shift in an industry, everyone will start meditating, and then that's what you want. Is you just want everyone to be on that same wavelength, catching that wave together.
Yes, so can wait to see that. Whenever you're going to be in China, I'm sure, because you're already very active on social media, I'm sure we'll see even more transparency and learn a lot more about this factory. And thank you for doing this. Hopefully that will inspire all the other factory around you in China. And
sure, that's the plan. We can't do it. No industry or brand can do anything by themselves. It's about empowering others and collaborating. And I mean, this is the capitalist culture we live in, is that it's all about being the best, and it's about working together. And I mean, I say to all the vegan brands I work with, it's like the goal is to not compete with each other. I understand it is challenging from a selling perspective and whatnot, but like the space that needs to change is the leather goods industry needs to be removed, and then the vegan brands can overpopulate that industry instead of challenging each other in the vegan space. It's about overtaking that leather goods industry and then having more vegan brands.
Yeah, hopefully.
So much again.
Yeah.
I hope so. We'll see. But there is a shift happening, and that's why I started the factory. And I'm not moving to China just for this idea. I'm pretty confident the industry is moving pretty quickly, and I wanted to hopefully support the industry change.
So yeah, everybody should follow Veshin Factory.
It means vegan heart. Veshin means vegan heart. So Shin in Chinese means heart, and then obviously VE is like vegetarian, vegan. My business partner's Chinese, I'm English. We wanted to have this hybrid word, and we came up with Veshin, and it just sounded good, and I don't know, we went with it, and it worked.
So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna end with your video. If someone didn't see the introduction video, I'm gonna end with that. So
cool.
Yeah,
well,
so
thanks for having me, mate.
Huh?
Thanks for having me, and everyone out there. Yeah, follow along on Instagram, and appreciate all your love and support.
Thank you. Bye.
A garment factory has collapsed in Bangladesh, once again calling into question the safety standards at the factories.
The owner of the Rana Plaza factory complex in Bangladesh has been charged with murder.
A Chinese company that has made shoes for the Ivanka Trump brand denies allegations of excessive overtime and low wages. A factory fire in India killed at least 43 people Sunday.
Look, this is going to keep happening as long as we let it. So we need to show clothing brands not just that we care, but why they should.
Whilst the fashion industry has strived to become more sustainable over the course of the last 10 years, manufacturers have struggled to keep pace with the speed of change required. Our answer to this is Veshin Factory. I'm Joe Pringle, founder of Veshin, an OEM and ODM manufacturer that specialises in luxury vegan leather and premium recycled synthetics, bags and accessories. Our goal at Veshin is to become one of the greenest factories on the planet by living and breathing 5 core values. We want to reduce the quantity of global output by making high quality, innovative, long-lasting products. Our focus is on the circular economy and working with material suppliers that take these and turn them into this. Certifications and audits are a crucial part of the social compliance process, but we plan on going above and beyond by providing transparency on everything, and I mean everything. Veganism is at the forefront of our values, so we promote plant-based living wherever possible. To take the pressure off these guys, we plan on working with materials such as cactus, apple, pineapple and mushroom. Our desire for doing things differently stretches above and beyond our green manufacturing goals. From beach cleanups to tree planting initiatives, we plan on investing our time and our revenues into supporting global and local outreach projects